"What must I do to inherit eternal life?" A scholar of the law asked Jesus, testing him. "You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your strength, and with all your mind, and your neighbour as yourself," Jesus replied. But the man, seeking to justify himself, pressed further. "And who is my neighbour?" In response, Jesus told a story that would echo through the ages, a powerful parable about the true meaning of compassion. The story begins on the treacherous road that winds down from Jerusalem to Jericho. A Jewish man travelling alone suddenly finds himself ambushed by ruthless robbers. They descend upon him with violence, stripping him of his clothes and possessions, beating him until he is barely conscious. They leave him for dead in the dust, a broken and bleeding figure abandoned on the side of the road, his life hanging by a thread. The sun beats down on the desolate path, and his chances of survival seem slim. Shortly after, a priest happens to be travelling down that very same road. He sees the wounded man from a distance, a crumpled form lying in a pool of his own blood. One might expect him, a man of God, to rush to his aid. Instead, he carefully crosses to the opposite side of the road, his robes swishing as he hurries past, unwilling to become involved. Not long after, a Levite, another figure of religious standing, comes along. He too sees the desperate situation. He might have paused for a moment, but his decision is the same. He also crosses over, avoiding the suffering man and continuing on his journey, leaving him to his fate. Then another traveller appears. He is a Samaritan. In that time and place, Jews and Samaritans were bitter enemies, divided by deep-seated religious and cultural animosity. When the Samaritan sees the Jewish man, he doesn't see an enemy. He sees a human being in agony. His heart is immediately filled with pity. He doesn't hesitate or weigh the risks. Instead, he is moved by a powerful, gut-wrenching compassion that transcends all social boundaries and historical hatreds. In that moment, prejudice vanishes, replaced by a profound sense of shared humanity. This Samaritan doesn't just feel pity, he acts on it. He kneels beside the wounded man, gently cleaning his wounds with oil and wine from his own supplies, and carefully bandaging them. With great tenderness, he lifts the man onto his own donkey and walks alongside, taking him to a nearby inn. He stays with him through the night, ensuring he is comfortable and safe. The next morning, before he departs, the Samaritan gives the innkeeper 2 denarii, enough for weeks of care, and makes a promise. "Look after him," he says, "and when I return, I will reimburse you for any extra expense you may have." Returning to the scholar's question, Jesus asks, "So which of these 3 do you think was a neighbour to the man who fell into the hands of robbers?" The scholar, humbled, can only answer, "The one who had mercy on him." Jesus looks at him, and at all those listening, with a simple yet profound command that continues to challenge us today. "You go," he says, "and do likewise." It's a call to action, urging us to see the suffering in our path and to become a neighbour to anyone in need, showing mercy without condition and love without limits,